get more followers on Pinterest? Do you wonder, how do I get my first 1,000 followers on Pinterest? Are you curious about any hacks for gaining followers on the Pinterest platform that are free? Hey bosses, it's Natalie Bardo here, your Pinterest coach. And if you love Pinterest tips like how to gain more followers on Pinterest, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe because I've got weekly videos, weekly free Pinterest training coming your way. So if you're wondering how to gain followers on Pinterest, this is the video for you. I've got around 67,000 followers right now that I've built over 4 years of being on the platform. So I know a little bit about what it takes to gain followers. But before I get into the tips, I want to give you just a quick warning. Pinterest is not a social media site. That means that strategies like follow, unfollow, or mass following accounts can get you into serious trouble on the platform. I actually have a whole video about that you might want to check out. So instead of doing things like follow and follow and mass messaging and mass clicking on profiles, you can use these 9 strategies to gain more Pinterest followers. So let's get started. The very first one is to use Milotree. So Milotree is this really great plugin that allows you to build your followers for your different platforms like Pinterest. It looks like this. So Milotree is a beautiful pop-up that shows up on your site. So you can see it right here, what it looks like on mobile as well as desktop. You can connect it to any of your social platforms, but a really great choice is to use it for Pinterest. So you can gain followers that way. It's pretty affordable, $9 a month. And you can actually get started for free with a free 30-day trial. So if you're interested, click the link below to start your free trial of Milotree. So if you want to grow your followers with something like Milotree and you're looking for a free alternative, you can actually use Pinterest's very own widget builder. Have you heard of it before? So to access the widget builder, simply click this question mark on the bottom right-hand corner of the Pinterest website. You'll see here right under Visit Help Center, it says Create Widget. So when you click on that, it launches the widget builder. And here you're able to create a widget for your profile that you can paste into your website, and you can get followers that way. Simply just follow the information. It's telling you where to paste the code on your site. You can customize this to be square for your sidebar. Maybe you can add it to the bottom of your blog post, encouraging people to follow you. If you like either of these options, be sure to check the description down below and you can click the links to check out Milotree or to create a widget for your site. So the second way to grow your followers on Pinterest is to announce it on your other platforms. So most likely you've got an email list, maybe you have Facebook followers, maybe you even have an Instagram account. So you're going to want to announce that you are on Pinterest on those profiles and even just add it to your email welcome series or as a PS, a note to your subscribers anytime you send an email. So as part of my welcome sequence, I have this little note at the bottom that says, PS, don't forget to connect with me on Pinterest, and they can click and follow me. Also on Instagram, since my profile is all about I'm your Pinterest coach, in my smart bio, I actually have a link to being able to follow me on Pinterest. You can easily add that. You can also create a dedicated post on your page, whether that's your Facebook page saying, hey, come follow me. You can also announce anytime you hit a milestone like 100 followers, 1,000 followers, 1,500, whatever it is, to add that hype to encourage more people to follow you. And Canva makes follower announcements easy by having all of these amazing templates that you can customize to celebrate every single milestone. I just searched 1,000 followers on Canva and I was able to find all these templates. Okay, so the third way that you can gain more followers on Pinterest is to use a Facebook follow thread. So there are so many Facebook groups that are dedicated just to Pinterest. It's filled with other content creators, VAs, Pinterest gurus, all of those people that can help you grow. So one of my favorite groups for gaining followers is called Bloggers Unite on Pinterest. It's just one of many. And they have these weekly follow threads where you post your profile and you'll follow 10 others. So that's a great way for you to kickstart your new account if you want more followers. So look out for those different Facebook groups. If you want to find one, all you can do is just search on Facebook for Pinterest and see all the amazing groups that come up. So I'm searching for Pinterest. And I'm going down to groups, and you can see all of these groups on Facebook that are dedicated to Pinterest. Most of them have follow threads that you can post your profile and gain followers. Just a pro tip, you're going to want to make sure that you tell people why they should follow you. So I would be like, hey, follow me. I'm Nadalie, the personal development blogger behind It's All You Boo. I share tips to help you achieve your goals in life and business, or something like that. Whatever your slogan is, you're going to want to include that in your post. All right. So the fourth way that you can gain followers is actually to start a group board. Yes, it's a little controversial as to whether group boards are still worth it or not. I've got a whole video on that. If group boards are a path that you are interested in pursuing, you're going to want to check that out. But it's great for gaining followers because in order for someone to join your group board, they have to follow you first. So right here on my profile, in case you don't know what a group board is, you can see all of these boards right here. There are these little photos with people. That just means it's a group board. So currently I have 6 group boards that I monitor, and I do my best to ensure that there's only relevant pins being added. So you can see here, I've got all these members who belong to my group. And in order for me to add you, you first have to follow me. So you would create your own group board because then people in your niche are going to follow you. So you want to make sure your group boards are relevant to the content that you're creating. So we can see here, I have information on how to join my group boards. I send them to this link where they're going to fill in their information so that I can add them to my group board. And the first thing I'm like, hey, you got to follow me. So that's how I'm able to gain followers, and you can too if you create a group board that's relevant to your niche. So the next few tips on how to gain followers are all focused more on Pinterest strategies in general that help you to build your followers faster. So the next tip, the 5th way for you to grow your followers on Pinterest, is to pin for your target audience. So by that, I mean, you want to create more pins that your audience on Pinterest is actually interested in. So instead of just pinning content that nobody wants, nobody clicks on, nobody saves it, you want to make sure that you're leaning in to what is actually doing well. And a great place is to use Pinterest Analytics. There's a whole section on audience insights. So I encourage you to check it out. So to access audience insights, you're going to want to head to Pinterest, click on Analytics in the top bar, and the second one is Audience Insights. So here it is showing you what are the categories and topics of interest that the people who follow you and engage with your pins are interested in. So we can see from here that I have the highest affinity for people who are interested in finance, which is crazy to me, and financial planning. So if I create more pins on my posts about finances, I'm more likely to succeed. Also, pins on quotes, no surprise there. Food and drink. We can also scroll down and I can see who my demographic is. So I need to be creating content for this 18 to 24 age females who are interested in things like finances, quotes, food and drink. So that is helping me to narrow down the types of content that I'm creating and lean into my target audience and give the people what they want. So much of your success on Pinterest is about giving people what they want. So what is your audience insights saying to you about the types of pins that you should be creating that are going to gain more followers? Because those types of people have an affinity for that content, meaning they're more likely to click that follow button. So the sixth way for you to gain more followers on Pinterest is to stick to your branding. Branding is so important. It's honestly the foundation of any good blog, brand, or business. Your branding says so much about you without you having to say anything at all. So your branding sets the stage. It helps your audience to get to know you, like you, and of course, not only to trust, but to click the follow button and follow you because they see your content over and over and over again. So part of that branding is ensuring that you have your domain at the bottom of your pins, all of them. Part of that branding is ensuring that you're sticking to your color palette. So although your pins will be different, you're sticking within the same fonts and colors. That's how you build your branding. One of the biggest compliments I get about Pinterest is, wow, your branding is spot on. I always know what's your pin when I see it. And you want the same experience for pinners who are seeing your content. Because when someone clicks on your pin, they head to your website, they see how amazing your content is, and then they see another pin with the same URL or the same branding, they know it's you, and they're more likely to follow you because they know what they're getting. So you're going to want to make sure you have that consistency in terms of your pin design. All right, so speaking of pins, the seventh way to gain more followers is to create idea pins, formerly known as story pins. Why? Because when you're creating these story type idea pins, the very last slide is to follow you. That's the natural call to action on these idea pins. They're actually the whole reason that Pinterest created them is to promote you as the creator and to help you build your following. So you want to start creating these idea pins because you're going to gain more followers. Since there are no links to your website, the really, truly, the only call to action is to follow you. So start creating idea pins. I've got a whole video on that if you need help getting started. So the eighth way for you to gain followers on Pinterest is to optimize your profile with all of your keywords. You want to make sure that if someone is searching on Pinterest for whatever it is your keyword is, your profile is going to show up at the top of the list, so they are more likely to follow you. That's a great way for you to get found. So back on Pinterest, we can see that my profile name is Nadalie Bardo, achieve your goals, goal setting, and slay your goals. Why? Because my primary focus is helping people to achieve their goals or slay their goals. So I want to make sure that if someone's on Pinterest and they're searching, they're actually going to find me. You also want to optimize your description. So since I focus on a new freebie every season, I update this. So you would also ensure that those keywords are in your profile description. And you can edit all of this within your settings. So by clicking on this little down arrow and clicking on settings, you're able to add to your display name here and also update this description with those optimized keywords. And this is important because, see, for example, I'm going to search here. So say someone is looking for spirituality. They're going to search and all of these people are showing up, and we can see the ones who are higher usually are the ones who have the most amount of followers. So you're going to want to make sure you've optimized your profile name, your description, and also, of course, your boards, because a lot of boards are actually ranking in Google search. Whatever it is your topic, you want to make sure that your boards show up in Google search so that they can follow you, because people can follow your profile, but they can also follow your boards. And my ninth tip for you, and this is very much my strategy to gaining followers. It's how I've achieved those 67,000 followers on Pinterest, which is crazy to say, but it's actually just to be consistent. To consistently create amazing content, beautiful pins, to pin every single day and not let up, to pin seasonal and trending content, to just pin, just be amazing on Pinterest. That is the best way for you to gain followers. I've got a whole video on tips to help you stay consistent if that's something that's a challenge for you. So here I am on Tailwind, and it actually tracks follower growth. So typically in about a week, I gain between 70 and 100 followers every single week by doing nothing but pinning. That's all I do. I'm just being consistent on the platform, and naturally people are going to gravitate towards you. So it all adds up. All you've got to do is just be consistent. So I really hope that's helpful, that these 9 ways to gain more followers on Pinterest gives you a bit of a strategy in terms of how you can grow your followers. But I encourage you to not stress too much about followers on Pinterest, because Pinterest is a search engine, not a social media site. That means that you're better served putting your energy into things like how to SEO optimize your pins, your boards, your pin descriptions. Check out this video, that's going to be helpful to you. And followers are just going to follow you because you're awesome and your content is great. So if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because I'm more than happy to be your Pinterest coach, and I've got free training for you each and every week. Speaking of training, you're going to want to check out this video because it's going to be very helpful to you. See you in the next video.